So admittedly, I'm not a big fan of this disaster slash survival kind of movies. Don't be wrong, they're not bad, but they're not my real cup of tea, to be honest with you. So I was really excited to be catching Deepwater Horizon a couple weeks early. These movies kind of follow the same recipe, introduce one-dimensional characters, cue the disaster, throw some little moments of heroism in there, and roll credits. That's basically what you get all the time. Usually they're okay, well made, but nothing I normally recommend. So I gotta say, after watching this movie, I'm really surprised about how well I actually like this one. And with that, I'm welcome you to another episode of The Romanto, where my goal, as always, is to enhance your movie watching experience. So Deepwater Horizon is basically based off a true story of the accounts that happened in 2010 of this country's worst oil spill disaster. The Deepwater Horizon is actually the oil rig which exploded about 40 miles or so off the coast of Louisiana. Now this movie stars the leader of the Funky Bunch himself, Mark Wahlberg, who is paired up again with director Peter Berg, who they collaborated in Lone Survivor, which is actually a pretty good movie. Now, Wahlberg and Berg are both similar in that they kind of give us a lot of hits and misses. Now, Wahlberg I do like generally most of the time, but he has given us his share of crap, there's no question about it. But he also makes a lot of good movies, Italian Job, Three Kings, for example, things that come to mind, Boogie Nights. Berg himself has given us some really good stuff in Lone Survivor, which I mentioned earlier, The Rundown, Very Bad Things, Friday Night Lights. But he's given us his fair share of crap as well in Battleship and Hancock. So I was hoping this would be one of the better movies, and believe me when I say it definitely is. Now, this movie has a very good cast. Kate Hudson, John Malkovich, and of course we got Kurt Russell, who plays the leader, the head of the oil rig. And I love Kurt Russell. He's great in this movie. He's always great. He elevates anything that he's in. He's kind of like Cool Whip on desserts. You got a good piece of pie, some Jello, throw some Cool Whip in there, and it's a whole new world. That's what kind of Kurt Russell does here. I'll start with the things I didn't like about the movie. I won't say I didn't like, but things that were kind of status quo, which is what I mentioned things earlier, follow the same kind of formula. Give a lot of one-note characters. It's not really a character-based movie. It's not supposed to be honest with you. With these true stories, you know exactly what happens, how it's gonna happen. And a lot of times they put the disaster ahead of anything else, and this movie is no different. It doesn't really give you anything new in terms of what it serves you, if you will. But what this movie does shine is in Peter Berg's direction. This movie is, as status quo as it is, it's a really excellent cinematic movie watching experience. To be honest with you, this movie is the kind of movie where normally I'll recommend to watch this at home and relax with the significant other and the kids and all that. This movie actually deserves to be seen on the big screen because, technically speaking, it's a masterful movie. It's grand in scale, and for those who are fortunate to live near an IMAX, I can't recommend high enough to go watch it in that format, because this is what this movie is really going to shine. Is, again, the grand scale, the sound is fantastic. You're really immersed in what's going on inside the oil rig, what's blowing up, and Peter Berg does a great job of putting you in there. The moment the action starts, for the last 40 minutes or so, it really doesn't let go. It is extremely intense, exciting, henceforth entertaining for that matter, and you're locked in. Once the action starts, it's hard to let go, and you really kind of does a good job of giving that claustrophobic feeling. Sometimes you really feel what's going on, and it's like I said, it's an intense ride. And what Berg also does well is that he doesn't exploit the situation. He just focuses on the event itself and what happened as the disaster was going on. A lot of these movies, they focus on the people, what's going on outside the tragic event. So it's something about the government, who's at fault, they get fixated on the aftermath. This doesn't do that. It just focuses on the movie itself and what happened. You got X people taken to the oil rig, something bad goes wrong, hell breaks loose, and that's what it gives you. And it's from that standpoint, it's a really, really well executed movie. So at the end of the day, am I recommending this? Absolutely. This is a movie, again, it's not gonna blow your socks off, but it's a really well-made movie. And from a technical standpoint, it's great on the big screen. I recommend you definitely guys go watch this. I'm surprised I'm even saying this right now, because this movie wasn't really on my radar to begin with, but I really enjoyed it for what it gave us. Kudos to Berg and all that, and Wahlberg and Russell, they're really good in the movie. Even Kate Hudson, she had a small role, but she was great in there. Had really good chemistry with Wahlberg, who plays the spouse. But in any event, if you guys check it out, let me know what you guys think. As always, comment below. Don't forget to check myself myself out, and my two cohorts in the Real Mentors podcast, where we talk about movies, TVs, and have a little fun along the way, of course. And as always, subscribe below and feed my need to go to the movies and talk about it afterwards. See you guys next time.